There's a truth that silently echoes in the most wounded hearts. When you stop begging for love, something sacred awakens within you. It's as if the soul, finally free from the chains of desperate need, remembers its own golden light. Edgar Cayce, the visionary who saw beyond the veils of consciousness, revealed that the greatest act of healing isn't receiving love, but recognizing that you already are love in your purest essence. How many times have you found yourself begging for scraps of affection? How many sleepless nights have you spent, your soul whispering desperate prayers for someone to see you, choose you, love you? This burning thirst for external validation isn't just a wound of this life, it's the echo of countless incarnations where the soul forgot its own completeness. Cayce taught us that we carry within our spiritual being the memories of all the times we sought outside what was always within. The truth is, every time you beg for love, you're repeating an ancestral pattern etched deep within the Akashic records of your existence. It's as if your soul is trapped in a karmic cycle, endlessly reliving the belief that it is incomplete, insufficient, needy. But the universe conspires in mysterious ways to awaken us from this illusion. Every painful rejection, every unrequited love, every romantic disappointment isn't punishment. It's life offering a golden opportunity for you to stop seeking in others what you can only find within yourself. When Edgar Cayce entered his deep trance states, he saw with crystal clarity how souls choose their experiences before incarnating. He revealed that we often choose to experience the pain of romantic rejection to learn the most sacred lesson of all, that we are complete beings worthy of love by our own divine nature. It's a cosmic paradox. We need to feel the lack of love to remember that we were never lacking anything. Imagine for a moment that your soul is like a diamond buried under layers and layers of earth. Every time you beg for love, you're digging deeper, further away from the surface where your natural light could shine. But when you stop digging, when you cease the desperate search, something magical happens. You finally allow the diamond to be discovered, not by others, but by yourself. And that discovery is the beginning of a healing so profound that it reverberates through all your past and future lives. The sleeping prophet revealed that every relationship we experience is a mirror of our relationship with our own soul. When we beg for love from someone, we're actually begging to reconnect with our divine essence. But this reconnection can't come from the outside. It needs to spring from within, like a crystalline spring that has always been there, patiently waiting to be discovered. There's something profoundly transformative that happens the exact moment you decide to stop. Stop begging. Stop humiliating yourself. Stop diminishing yourself in the name of a love that needs to be earned. It's as if the entire universe sighs in relief, finally seeing you honor the divinity that dwells within your chest. In that sacred moment, you're not just healing your current wound, you're healing wounds that span centuries, entire lifetimes where your soul forgot its own worth. Cayce frequently spoke about the universal laws that govern our existence. One of these laws is the law of attraction, but not in the superficial way many interpret it. According to his revelations, we attract into our lives what we vibrate at our deepest essence. When we live in a state of loving deprivation, begging and pleading for affection, we are vibrating at the frequency of lack, and the universe, always faithful to our energetic emissions, returns to us more experiences of lack. But when you stop begging, something phenomenal occurs in your energy field. Your vibration instantly elevates. It's as if you tune into a new cosmic radio station, a frequency where love flows naturally, effortlessly, without need. On this new frequency, you don't attract people who need to be won over. You magnetize souls who recognize your light and choose to dance with it, not out of need, but out of spiritual affinity. I remember one of Edgar Cayce's most beautiful revelations about relationships. He said that some souls make pacts before incarnating, agreeing to meet to teach each other specific lessons. Often, the greatest gift one soul can give another is to leave, forcing them to find within themselves the completeness they sought outside. How many times was that person who didn't reciprocate your love, in fact, a disguised angel, gently pushing you toward your own heart? The healing that begins when you stop begging for love is multidimensional. It's not just emotional or psychological, It's a healing that permeates all the subtle bodies of your existence. It's as if every cell in your being receives a new message: you are enough, you are complete, you are love personified. And this message resonates not only in the present, but sends waves of healing to all your past lives where this lesson needed to be learned. There's a divine synchronicity in the moment we decide to stop begging for love. Suddenly, we begin to notice subtle signs that the universe has always been sending. A bird singing a special melody in your window exactly when you need hope the most. A flower blooming in your garden on the day you finally choose to bloom alone. A song playing on the radio with the exact message your soul longed to hear. These aren't coincidences. They are cosmic confirmations that you're on the right path. The cosmic symphony within Edgar Cayce taught us that the universe is constantly communicating with us through symbols, synchronicities, and subtle signs. But when we're caught in the desperation of begging for love, our spiritual senses become dulled by pain. It's only when we quiet down, when we stop the frantic searching, that our inner ears open to hear the cosmic symphony that's always been playing for us. The soul's journey through incarnations is a process of remembering who we truly are. Cayce revealed that many of our current pains are echoes of unresolved traumas from past lives. Perhaps in a previous life, you were abandoned by a great love. Maybe in another incarnation, your heart was broken by someone who vowed eternal fidelity. These wounds transcend the veil of time and manifest in the present life as an insatiable thirst for love's validation. But here's the most beautiful revelation: when you stop begging for love in this life, you're breaking karmic chains that stretch across multiple existences. It's as if your soul finally screams, "Enough," to a pattern that has imprisoned it for centuries. This courageous decision liberates not only you but also the souls with whom you shared these painful experiences in other lives. There's a profound difference between being alone and being in sacred solitude. When we beg for love, even in the company of others, we experience agonizing loneliness, the loneliness of someone disconnected from themselves. But when we stop begging and turn our attention inward, we discover a different kind of solitude, an intimate and loving communion with our own essence. In this sacred solitude, we begin to hear the voice of the soul, that gentle voice that has always known we were complete, that has always recognized our divinity, that has always loved us unconditionally. It's a voice that asks for nothing in return, that places no conditions on its love, that doesn't abandon us when we make mistakes. It's the voice of true love, the one we've sought so desperately in others, and which has always been patiently waiting within us. It's in this moment of profound revelation that I want to invite you to something special. If these words are touching your soul, if you feel you finally found someone who understands your spiritual journey, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Because here, in this sacred space we've created together, you'll never again need to beg for love. You'll be constantly reminded that you are already pure love in essence. Every video we share is a love letter from the universe to your soul, a gentle reminder of your own divinity. By subscribing, you're joining a community of awakened souls who have chosen to stop begging and start radiating. Be a part of this growing spiritual family, where each member is a mirror of the divine light we all carry within. The healing that begins when you stop begging for love is like a silent rebirth. There are no fanfare, no grand proclamations, only a subtle, profound transformation that takes place in the innermost layers of your being. It's as if you awaken from a long, disturbing dream to discover that you were always home, always safe, always complete. Edgar Cayce frequently spoke about the importance of patience in the process of spiritual healing. He reminded us that the soul operates on divine time, not human time. Hurry, anxiety, and desperation for immediate results are energies that block the natural flow of healing. When we stop begging for love, we're essentially saying to the universe, "I trust your perfect timing. I trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should be." There's a profound wisdom in nature that teaches us about self-love. Observe a rose. It doesn't beg the sun to shine on it, doesn't plead with the rain to water it, doesn't beg the eyes of observers to admire it, it simply is. In its pure, authentic being, it naturally magnetizes everything it needs to flourish. You, as a divine being, possess this same innate wisdom. When you stop begging and simply are, you become a natural magnet for everything that resonates with your true essence. The transformation that occurs when we cease the desperate search for external love is visceral. It's possible to physically feel the body relax, the breath deepen, the muscles release tensions we've carried for years. It's as if every cell in our organism sighs with relief, finally free from the constant pressure of seeking validation outside of oneself. Edgar Cayce revealed that love is the most powerful force in the universe, but not the needy, desperate love we often mistake for true love. Real love is a force that flows, that gives, that radiates without expecting anything in return. When we beg for love, we're operating on the frequency of neediness, not love. But when we stop begging, we align ourselves with the frequency of true love, the kind that is abundant, generous, and unconditional. This shift in frequency doesn't go unnoticed by the universe. It's as if you've tuned into a different TV channel. Suddenly, a completely new program is available. People who vibrate on the same frequency of love begin to appear in your life. Opportunities that resonate with your new energy manifest. Meaningful synchronicities become more frequent. The entire universe seems to conspire in your favor, not because you're begging for it, but because you finally become a conscious collaborator in the cosmic dance. One of Cayce's most profound revelations was about the power of individual transformation to heal the collective. When you stop begging for love and find your inner completeness, you're not only healing yourself, you're contributing to the healing of all humanity. It's as if you become a beacon of light, showing other souls that it's possible to find peace and fulfillment within themselves. Every person who awakens to their own divinity creates waves of healing that expand infinitely. Their family feels it, their friends notice, even strangers on the street unconsciously pick up the difference in their energy. You become a silent catalyst of awakening simply by existing in your most authentic truth. There's a cosmic dance constantly happening between embodied and disembodied souls, between the visible and the invisible, between the human and the divine. When we beg for love, we're out of rhythm with this dance, stumbling and fighting against the natural flow of existence. But when we stop begging and surrender to our own wholeness, we find our perfect step in the universal choreography. In this sacred dance, there are no needy or desperate partners. There are only beings of light choosing to celebrate their mutual divinity. The love that arises from this space is radically different from the love born of lack. It's a love that strengthens instead of drains, that elevates instead of diminishes, that liberates instead of imprisons. Edgar Cayce often used the metaphor of the mirror to explain how our external relationships reflect our internal state. When we beg for love, we attract reflections of our own lack, people who also live in the frequency of scarcity, creating codependent and addictive relationships. But when we become whole within ourselves, we attract reflections of our own fullness, souls who have also discovered their inner divinity. It's an unbreakable universal principle. You can only attract into your life what you already are in essence. If you are lack, you attract lack. If you are love, you attract love. If you are wholeness, you attract wholeness. External transformation is always preceded by internal transformation. There's a divine innocence we reclaim when we stop begging for love. It's like returning to the original state of the soul, that state of purity and spontaneity, where love flows naturally, without calculations or strategies. Little children don't beg for love, they simply radiate joy and magnetize love around them. This is our original nature, the one we've forgotten over lifetimes, and which we can reclaim at any time. In this return to divine innocence, we rediscover the ability to love without an agenda, to give without expectations, to be happy without external conditions. It's an intoxicating freedom that transforms not only our love life but our entire perception of reality. Cayce revealed that each human being is a sacred temple where divinity dwells. When we beg for love, it's as if we're begging outside our own temple, forgetting that we are both the devotee and the divinity worshipped. The moment we stop begging is the moment we finally cross the sacred threshold and enter our own sanctity. Within this inner temple, we discover unimaginable treasures, a peace that transcends all understanding, a love that knows no bounds, a wisdom that connects all the dots of existence. These treasures have always been there, patiently waiting for us to remember to look within instead of without. The journey of stopping begging for love is in essence a spiritual death and rebirth. The version of you that begged for affection needs to die so that the version that radiates love can be born. It's a process that can be painful at first because it requires us to let go of old identities and embrace our true nature. But like the phoenix rising from its ashes, we emerge from this transformation more beautiful, stronger, and more luminous than we ever were. The pain of transformation becomes the fuel of our transcendence. Edgar Cayce taught us that we are star beings temporarily housed in physical bodies. When we beg for love, we forget our cosmic origin and identify only with the limited human personality. But when we cease this desperate seeking and reconnect with our star essence, we remember that we are children of the stars, bearers of divine light. This remembrance isn't just poetic, it's a spiritual truth that completely transforms our life experience. We begin to see every encounter as an encounter between stars, every relationship as a cosmic dance, every moment of love as a celebration of universal divinity. There's an invisible network of light that connects all awakened souls on the planet. When you stop begging for love and find your inner wholeness, you automatically connect to this network. It's as if you tune into a special frequency where only souls in a state of grace can communicate. In this network of light, there's no competition, no lack, no need to impress or conquer. There's only mutual recognition, shared celebration of the divinity we all carry. It's a spiritual family that transcends blood ties, geographies, and even lifetimes. The healing process that begins when we stop begging for love is like the growth of a sacred tree. At first, there's only a tiny seed of awareness, the realization that maybe, just maybe, you are enough as you are. This seed, watered by self-acceptance and warmed by self-compassion, slowly begins to sprout. In time, what was once a fragile seedling becomes a powerful tree, with roots deep in spiritual truth and branches that extend to touch other souls. This tree doesn't need to beg for sun or rain, it simply trusts the natural process of life and blossoms in its own divine season. There's something oceanic about the love we discover when we stop begging for it. It's vast, deep, without visible limits. It's not the small, possessive love we knew before, it's the universal love that Edgar Cayce saw in his highest visions. It's a love that doesn't belong to anyone and paradoxically, because of that, belongs to everyone. In this ocean of love, there's no scarcity, there's no need to compete or beg for a drop. When you realize you are the ocean itself in human form, you don't seek love, you are love. You don't need wholeness, you are wholeness. You don't beg for divinity, you are manifested divinity. So the journey that began with desperate pleas transforms into a serene walk toward your very essence. Each step you take without begging for love is a step toward the home you never truly left, the sacred home of your own heart. Edgar Cayce repeatedly reminded us that we are co-creators with the divine. When we stop begging, we assume our cosmic responsibility to create love instead of begging for it. We become artists of existence, painting our reality with the colors of self-acceptance, compassion, and spiritual wisdom. The healing you have no idea is starting when you stop begging for love is ultimately the healing of fundamental separation, the illusion that you are separate from love, separate from divinity, separate from universal wholeness. It's the healing that reconnects you with the simplest and most revolutionary truth of all. You are love. You always have been love, and you always will be love. In this moment of profound revelation, I leave you with a question whispered by your soul. If you knew, with absolute certainty, that you are already complete and worthy of unconditional love, how would you live this day differently? How would you love? How would you relate? How would you walk through the world if you no longer needed to beg for what is already your essential nature? The answer is silently echoing in the sacred sanctuary of your heart. You just need to stop, breathe, and listen.